There is a remarkable and often overlooked truth about keeping our minds sharp as we age. It has less to do with the brain games we play and more to do with the comfort zones we refuse to leave. The very efficiency our brain develops over decades, the ability to perform daily tasks on autopilot, can inadvertently become a cage, limiting the growth of new connections that keep our thinking flexible and resilient. What if I told you that one of the most powerful tools for building a younger, more adaptable brain is, quite literally, already in your other hand? Today, we're going to explore a simple, science-backed technique that requires no puzzles, no apps, and no expense. It's a small shift in a daily routine that can trigger a cascade of positive changes in your brain structure. We will unpack the science of why this works in a clear, simple way, and I'll give you a practical, step-by-step guide to get started safely and effectively. This isn't about a quick fix. It's about a sustainable habit that empowers you to actively care for your cognitive health. Hello, I'm Dr. Daniel Bennett. For years, my work has focused on translating complex health science into practical, real-world strategies, especially for those of us in our 60s and beyond. If you believe that a long life should be a vibrant one, filled with clarity and curiosity, I invite you to subscribe and join our community. Your presence here helps us all share and learn together. Today, we're diving into a fascinating concept known as neurobics. And it starts with a simple question: what if you brushed your teeth with your other hand tomorrow morning? Let's begin by understanding a fundamental challenge our brains face. From the moment we learn to tie our shoes, button a shirt, or stir our coffee, our brain is working to make these tasks as efficient as possible. It builds superhighways of neural connections for actions we repeat frequently. This is a brilliant energy-saving mechanism. It allows us to drive a familiar route while thinking about our grocery list, or wash dishes while listening to the radio. We are on autopilot. While this efficiency is useful, over many years, it can lead to a form of cognitive rigidity. Our brain gets so good at using the same well-worn paths that it becomes less practiced at building new ones. It's like walking the same trail in a forest every single day. Over time, that path becomes a deep, comfortable rut. It's easy to walk, but it's very difficult to step out of it and explore the surrounding woods. This is what can make it feel harder to learn a new skill or adapt to a sudden change in routine as we get older. We're not losing our ability, but our brain has become accustomed to its familiar, comfortable routes. The solution, then, is to gently and intentionally force your brain off that comfortable path. This is precisely what happens when you perform a simple, routine task with your non-dominant hand. The moment you pick up your toothbrush with your other hand, your brain's autopilot system shuts off. It can't use the superhighway it has spent decades building. It's like that main road is suddenly closed for construction. Instantly, your brain has to wake up and solve a new problem. It has to recruit different areas, coordinate muscles in an unfamiliar way, and process sensory feedback it isn't used to. This conscious effort, this feeling of awkwardness and clumsiness, is the signal that your brain is hard at work. It's not just using a different part of the brain. It's forcing different parts to communicate in a brand new way. This simple act is a direct command to your brain: build me a new road. And the best part? It's a perfectly safe and gentle way to begin. Start with something that involves no risk, like using the TV remote or a computer mouse. The goal isn't to become skilled. The goal is simply to engage in the effort. The tangible benefit you'll notice at first is a heightened sense of presence. You're no longer just going through the motions. You're fully engaged in a simple, everyday moment. Now, you might be thinking, how is this different from doing a daily crossword or a Sudoku puzzle? Aren't those good for my brain too? That is an excellent question. And the answer reveals the unique power of this technique. Puzzles are wonderful for cognitive health, but they generally exercise and strengthen the neural pathways we already have. A crossword puzzle, for example, is a fantastic workout for the language and memory centers of your brain. It makes those existing roads wider and more efficient. Using your non-dominant hand, however, does something fundamentally different. It stimulates a process called neuroplasticity in a much broader sense. Neuroplasticity is simply your brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Think of your brain as a bustling city. Doing a puzzle is like improving the traffic flow on the main highways. It's important and makes the city run better. But using your other hand for a task like eating with a spoon forces the city to build entirely new side streets and bridges, connecting districts that rarely communicated before. Here's the science made simple. When you use your dominant hand, the instructions flow from the opposite hemisphere of your brain along a well-established, insulated pathway. It's automatic. When you switch hands, that pathway is unavailable. Your brain has to create a new circuit on the fly. This requires intense communication between your motor cortex, which controls movement, your cerebellum, which manages balance and coordination, and your somatosensory cortex, which processes the feeling of the object in your hand. This flurry of novel activity is what stimulates the production of something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. You can think of BDNF as a kind of fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps support the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth and differentiation of new neurons and synapses. You are not just doing a task. You are actively triggering the biological mechanism for building a more resilient, more interconnected brain. This is why the clumsiness is so important. That feeling of it being difficult is the workout. It's the sign that BDNF is being released and new connections are being forged. Here's where we can bust a common myth. Many people believe that the goal of these exercises is to become ambidextrous, equally skilled with both hands. In fact, for the purpose of brain health, the opposite is true. The cognitive benefit is greatest when the task is challenging and requires your full attention. The moment you become skilled and the task becomes automatic with your non-dominant hand, the brain-building benefit starts to fade. The magic is in the struggle, not in the mastery. So, embrace the awkwardness. It is the very essence of the exercise. Let's make this practical. You can think of it as a ladder of activities, starting with the safest and moving up as you feel comfortable. Level 1. The safe start. Begin with tasks where there is zero risk. Try brushing your teeth, combing your hair, using the remote control, or stirring your morning coffee or tea. These are perfect because they are daily habits, making them easy to remember. Level 2. Increasing complexity. Once you're comfortable, you can try using your computer mouse with the other hand. Or try eating something simple, like yogurt or oatmeal, with a spoon. You could also try dusting a surface or dialing a phone number. Level 3. Advanced coordination. Use caution only when you feel very steady, should you consider tasks that require more dexterity. This could include buttoning a shirt, writing a single word on a piece of paper, or perhaps using a fork with a simple food. It is crucial to never use your non-dominant hand for tasks involving knives, hot liquids, or anything that could cause injury. This is a gentle exercise, not a high-stakes challenge. The tangible benefit you may notice over time is not just that the task gets a little easier. You may find yourself becoming a bit more creative in your problem-solving in other areas of your life. By physically forcing your brain to find new solutions for movement, you are conditioning it to be more flexible in its thinking as well. If this explanation is clarifying how your brain works, a simple click on the subscribe button ensures you'll get more insights like this. This process of building new connections contributes directly to one of the most important concepts in brain health as we age: cognitive reserve. Cognitive reserve is a fascinating and empowering idea. It's the brain's ability to improvise and find alternate ways of getting a job done when its preferred pathway is disrupted. We all experience some age-related changes in the brain. That is a normal part of life. Cognitive reserve is what determines how well we can tolerate those changes without experiencing a noticeable decline in our day-to-day function. The best analogy for cognitive reserve is a financial savings account. Imagine two people who both face an unexpected $500 car repair bill. The person living paycheck to paycheck might find this event to be a major crisis. The person who has diligently built up a savings account can cover the expense with little stress. The unexpected event was the same, but their capacity to handle it was vastly different. Your brain works in a similar way. By consistently engaging in novel, challenging activities, like using your non-dominant hand, you are making small, daily deposits into your cognitive reserve. You are building a dense, rich, highly interconnected network of neural pathways. You're not just building one road from point A to point B. You're building a whole system of main roads, side streets, back alleys, and detours. Then, if an age-related issue arises, perhaps a slowdown in a particular neural pathway, which we can think of as a road closure, your brain doesn't grind to a halt. Because you've built such a rich network, it can simply reroute the signal through one of the many other connections you've created. A brain with high cognitive reserve can sustain more damage before any functional impairment is seen. Large-scale population studies suggest that individuals who have spent their lives engaged in mentally stimulating activities have a lower risk of showing the symptoms of dementia, even when their brains show similar physical changes on an autopsy. They built a better savings account. This is why this simple habit is so powerful. It's not about preventing the normal process of aging. It's about building a brain that is resilient and robust enough to weather those changes with grace and strength. It's a long-term strategy, and it's important to frame it that way. You won't feel dramatically smarter after a week. The changes are microscopic, but they are cumulative. Think of it as a quiet, steady investment in your future self. Of course, it is vital to remember that if you are experiencing significant or worrying changes in your memory or thinking, this exercise is not a substitute for a medical evaluation. Please, always speak with your doctor or a trusted healthcare provider about any new or concerning symptoms. This practice is a powerful tool for support and resilience, but it complements, rather than replaces, professional medical care. So we understand the what, using our non-dominant hand, and the why, building neuroplasticity and cognitive reserve. The final, and perhaps most important, piece of the puzzle is the how. How do we turn this idea into a lasting habit that we don't just forget about after 2 days? The best health advice in the world is useless if it's too complicated to fit into our real lives. The key is to leverage the science of habit formation. Our brains are wired to create routines. It saves energy. To create a new, positive habit, the easiest way is to tether it to an existing one. This is sometimes called habit stacking. Instead of trying to remember to do something new out of the blue, you link it to a behavior that is already automatic. Here is a simple, 4-step plan to make this a seamless part of your day. Step 1. Pick one. Just one. Do not try to start doing 10 different things with your other hand on the first day. That's a recipe for frustration and will make you want to quit. Choose one single, simple, safe task. Brushing your teeth is the perfect candidate because you do it every day and it's low risk. Step 2. Create a clear tether. The habit stack formula is, after I current habit, I will new habit. So, Your internal script becomes, after I put toothpaste on my toothbrush, I will place the brush into my non-dominant hand. This simple sentence creates a powerful link in your brain. Step 3. Engineer your environment. Make it easy to remember. Our brains respond beautifully to visual cues. Tonight, before you go to bed, take your toothbrush and place it on the wrong side of the sink or the cup holder. When you see it in the morning, it will serve as an instant, physical reminder of your new intention. This little trick dramatically increases the chance you'll follow through. Step 4. Practice mindful engagement. For the 2 minutes you are brushing your teeth with your other hand, be fully present. Don't let your mind wander to your to-do list. Pay attention. Feel the awkwardness. Notice which muscles in your arm and shoulder have to work. Feel the sensation of the bristles on your teeth from this new angle. This focused attention, this mindfulness, is what amplifies the brain-building effect of the exercise. It turns a simple motor task into a rich, full brain experience. And finally, give yourself a get-out-of-jail-free card. There will be mornings when you are tired, or in a rush, or simply not feeling it. On those days, it is perfectly okay to switch back to your dominant hand. The goal is consistency over the long term, not perfection on any single day. Beating yourself up for missing a day is counterproductive. Simply place the toothbrush back on the wrong side that night and begin again tomorrow. The aim is to build a positive, empowering relationship with this new habit, not to turn it into another chore. Remember, stick to safe tasks. The potential benefit is never worth the risk of a burn or a cut. What we've discussed today is a profound reminder that we are not passive passengers in the aging process. You hold the power to actively participate in the health and vitality of your own brain every single day with a simple and intentional act. Shifting that toothbrush, that remote control, or that spoon to your other hand is a quiet declaration that you are committed to building a mind that is as resilient, flexible, and vibrant as you are. Be patient and kind with yourself as you begin. That feeling of clumsiness and awkwardness is not a sign of failure. It is the physical sensation of growth. It is your brain waking up, forging new paths, and building a stronger foundation for all the years to come. You are not just brushing your teeth. You are tending to the garden of your mind. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let's make a community commitment together. What is the one small, safe task you are going to try with your other hand this week? Sharing your plan can be a wonderful way to hold yourself accountable and inspire others to join in. If you found this guidance to be clear, helpful, and reassuring, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Every new member helps us reach more people who deserve calm, credible health information. Thank you for investing this time in yourself.